Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another hashtag Productivity Live. And I'm super excited today to be talking all about some interesting things. But before we get there, did you realize we only have very few days left in October, which means we are getting closer and closer to the end of the year. But it is never too late to be able to find new ways to save time. So that is what we are talking about this week. In one of the posts that I shared this week, we were speaking about multitasking. And so I'm interested to know how much you are multitasking, because there are a few side effects that we might not be aware of. So therefore that I want to mention. The first is lack of focus. And I can totally relate to this. If I've got a webinar running and I'm trying to respond to an email and I'm trying to do client work, like it just doesn't work, right? my mind is all over the place. Then secondly, it can cause memory impairment. Who would have thought? Number three, it can increase your stress levels. Totally, again, I can relate to that. And fourthly, it can cost your business in terms of performance as well as creativity due to distraction levels. So there are a whole lot more that multitasking has like side effects of. So definitely not something that we need to be doing. But you know that there are certain tools that allow us to be able to multitask, but not us doing the multitasking, but it does the multitasking. So while you are doing one thing, there are automation tools that run in the background and do things on your behalf. It's almost like having a personal assistant on standby. So that is what we are talking about today. And I want to talk about the three most common options. The first one is Zapier. The second one is if this, then that. So IFTTT. And then the third one is Microsoft Flow. And what automation tools really allow us to do is it helps us to take a specific predetermined action based on a trigger or an input that we provide. So think about it like a little bot that's running in the background. If one thing happens, then because of the rules that you have set up and because of the encoding that potentially happens in the background, it then automatically does something else. So if you think about all of the different platforms in your business, there are a lot, right? For example, if you're wanting to collect information via Typeform, which is a form similar to Google Forms that allows you to collect information, and once they've completed that, you want them to be loaded automatically onto MailChimp. Okay, or maybe you're creating a blog and you want it to post automatically to Facebook or LinkedIn, or there's a certain person's tweets that you really like retweeting and you want that to happen automatically. Or how about specific emails that you receive that should trigger an action step or should be communicated on Slack or should automatically save some of the attachments to Google Drive or something like that. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff that we are doing in our businesses that maybe we don't realize how repetitively we are doing it. So that's where these automation tools come in, and they do what I've mentioned now and a whole lot more. So if we start with Zapier. So Zapier is one of the most popular automation tools in like everyday language. Okay, there are some other very fancy ones, but Zapier would be pretty common across most small businesses. So even though it's the most expensive of the three options I'm going to be talking about today, it allows you to be able to do 5 zaps for free. And there are certain limitations in terms of how many times it's allowed to run during the month and things like that. But thereafter, you have to start paying. You start paying from around $20 per month, depending on what type of subscription you're using. But it's still going to end up being cheaper, potentially, than hiring someone to do this on your behalf. So $20 per month, I was checking it out. Depending on what's happening with the exchange rate, right, you could be looking at less than 400 Rand per month. Okay, so this is something for us to really seriously consider, because if you think about the amount of human effort that might go into making those things happen in the background, you're not going to find someone cheap enough to do that for you. Okay, so definitely something to consider. It's pretty easy to use. There are a whole lot of templates and integrations that it's got predetermined. So I want to just share my screen quickly and show you a few examples, because examples are always nice to see, right? So let's just get that one going quickly. And by now, you know that screen sharing is not automatic, and I wish there was an easier button that I could push to make this happen. But so one of the links that I'm going to share with you is they've got this page that's the Zap Template Starter Pack, which is quite cool. Basically what it does is they've combined all of the most popular Zaps that people use. So here you'll see, for example, sharing blog posts onto your social channels. Okay, it can go to Facebook, Twitter, or Buffer. And can you see what it's doing there? It's got the little icons from the different platforms. So the next one, Evernote to Trello, or Evernote to Asana, or Trello to OneNote, which is quite cool as well. Okay, collecting feedback forms. There's Typeform going to Google Sheets or going to Trello, or even Google Forms going to an email. Okay, all sorts of interesting things. So go check this out. There really are a lot. And as I said, like these are some of the more basic ones that you can go look at, but they've got some funky ones. If you'll look over here, you'll see that there's a line that's got 3 items. Okay, so it's going to Trello, then it's effectively filtering it, and then it's going to Google Calendar. Now, with a free version, you are not able to do multiple step approaches, but what you can do once you get onto the paid version is that you can start building in a little bit more in terms of the rules that you can follow. Okay, so something really interesting. Emails to to-dos, which is cool, saving emails to email attachments to the cloud. Okay, so lots of stuff you can go check out there. So I have found that that Trello can be, sorry, not Trello, I found that Zapier can be quite helpful, but you have to be willing to make the investment to really be able to get the full benefit out of it. Okay, the second one, which I mentioned, was if this, then that. Now, if this, then that, I find quite interesting. It focuses on smart homes, and maybe it's more relevant in the Americas as an example, but it allows you to do things like control your air conditioning, to switch on the gas at home, to change the temperature control, to switch on the lights even, okay? There's a whole lot of things. And with South Africa becoming a little bit more smart conscious, you might have heard of smart technology and smart city and all of those things. If this, then that might become a little bit more relevant. Now, it doesn't only do the smart stuff, it's got a few other integrations as well, like your LinkedIn's, like your Google. For work purposes, maybe this isn't as diverse in terms of automations and integrations, but at only $4 per month, it's pretty good going. And up until the end of October, they are letting you set your own price to be able to switch over to the Pro version, after which it will be from $4 per month and up. At the moment, you're able to create 3 of your own integrations for free, but you are able to use other people's applets, that's what they call them, for free. So it's only if you're wanting to create your own one that you're limited to 3. So again, let me just share my screen and show you some of the examples that if this, then that has. Okay, so you'll see it's very techy. Okay, get yourself out of an awkward situation. Google Home, play music, Google Drive. Okay, so it gives you an idea. You'll see there's still new feed items to Telegram. So they do have a fair number of integrations, just maybe not as diverse and maybe not as specifically tuned in to the small business owner. Okay, automatically share your new videos to a Facebook page. So there's still relatively a lot that you can do. So it is going to be about what is your need, right? I like this. Get the weather forecast every day at 7 a.m. And there are other ways of doing it as well, right? But it's just nice to know that you can set it all up in one place. Okay, so that was the second one. Then the third one is Microsoft Flow. Now, if you have an Office 365 subscription, then chances are pretty good that you are going to be able to get free access to a certain degree to Microsoft Flow. Now, yes, there are some premium integrations that you might not be able to access for free, but as far as what is available goes, it's pretty good. You will find some sort of overlap between Zapier and Microsoft Flow, but really their focus is going to be on Microsoft products, which makes sense, right? So if you have a team that is working with Office 365, you've got the scheduler app that you're using Microsoft Teams, you're using Slack, using OneDrive, all of those things, then Microsoft Flow is going to be a really good addition to your team. So it comes again with a lot of templates, but you can also create your own flows. So let's go have a quick look at what they have available for us, just to get you an idea. Okay, so for example, this is now listed all of the flows that they have created templates for. It's not to say that this is the only stuff that you can do, but these have templates. Okay, so save Office 365 attachments to OneDrive for Business. There's, again, today's weather forecast. Okay, start approval processes when new items are added. Okay, so there's a whole lot of stuff here, and it's really built for a team. So if you have some sort of hierarchy where you have to have leave approvals and stuff like that, then this could be a really good option to look at. I have found that they are a little bit limited in terms of their integration with things like Facebook and LinkedIn, but it's still worth checking out. If it is already included for free, then why not go check it out? Okay, so go play with those. I will pop the links in the comments below, and you can go have a squiz and let me know. Okay, remember, like we said in our Blue Ninja session last week, it is about not just finding a tool and then trying to come up with a problem you're trying to solve. No, use it the other way around. So first look for the problem that you're trying to solve, and then find the tool that will be able to solve the problem for you. Otherwise, we just get overwhelmed with too many tools, right? Okay, so if you are wondering if your processes are working, and if you are as efficient as you could potentially be, and you're busy growing and scaling, or you're wanting to grow and scale, and you actually realize you just don't have enough time for everything, then this is one of the focus areas that we look at in our business coaching. I have found that with a lot of ladies and gentlemen that I've dealt with, they have two issues. The one is they need financial strategic input, and the other one is they need help with their processes. So if you are one of those people, you're looking for new ways to save time, and you're wanting to actually just make sure that you're getting to a point where you're able to scale, make sure you book your free 30-minute consultation, and let's just chat and see how we can add some value to your life, right? And help to save you some time, save you money, you know, that whole thing. But I think that's it from me for today. So until next time, when we are going to be talking about some things around distraction control and time tracking, do tune in. So until then, stay focused and stay productive. This is Christine, and I'm out. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.